Hi there. This is Dr. Judith. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are listening to my voice. Welcome. Thanks for joining me for these podcasts or whichever you find me on YouTube, wherever you're listening to me. Thank you so much for listening. And I have a lot that I want to share. And I believe, I know it's going to make a difference in the lives of those who are listening, because I know that I've listened to folks bringing information to the world that has made a difference in my life. And I am called to do this, so I know that I'm not just doing this because I want to hear my voice on a podcast or on YouTube. Something that I have been concerned about, and I get concerned about a lot of things because I believe that I have a part in society. I'm not just here as an interested guest in the world. I am here as part, I'll use a term, I'm part of the village. So a lot of things that I hear and read in our communities, in our society, provokes me or touches me or convicts me. And this medium I'm using to address them. Not because I I feel like doing it, but because I really have a calling to do this. And I know that because of the things that I've done in the past in terms of women's conferences where I've spoken, in terms of even the job that I work on presently, that people come to me because of the things that I say and they want greater explanation. They want me to expand on these thoughts and concerns that I have in terms of our society and in terms of how I respond to society. And I hope we all realize that we all have a investment in our world and that we have a responsibility and accountability to not just hear the news and hear things in our society and get disgruntled and get angry and go off to sleep or talk to our neighbor about it or our friends, but never really process what we hear. And I think to some degree our world is becoming very, very lopsided because a lot of people are thinking that we really and truly don't have much to do with what we hear and what we see. I beg to differ. I dare say that we all have a responsibility and accountability to listen and to read and to pay attention to what's going on around us. The world is becoming extremely, to me anyway, extremely convoluted and confused. And I think that has to do with many things. For me, being a child of God and being a firm believer in the God of the universe, God Almighty, for me, I see clearly what is going on. And I see we're tripping over ourselves because we really think we can do this on our own. We really are confused, in my opinion. And we think that we can do it ourselves, or we can go to little gods, small g gods like Dr. Phil and Oprah Winfrey and people like that. And the truth is, if they will tell you the truth, if they are sober enough and honest enough, they tell you the truth, they are just as confused or maybe even more confused than we are sometimes. But they have a product to sell. And I would like for us, as especially who say we are believers, to buy less of their products and go to the source. Because the source, that Bible, that book that I believe in, that I read, and so much of it that I'm, with the help of God, living day by day, is so basic. It is so basic. It teaches you how to spend your money. It teaches you how to be nice to other people. It teaches you to be caring and giving. It teaches you to be disciplined. So that's what that book means to me. But whatever I share with you, understand, I am not trying to shove anything down anyone's throat. I'm not trying to make anyone become anything. What I am doing in these broadcasts, and will be doing as long as I'm able to, is what I'm doing and want to do is to share a different viewpoint, is to share what has been given to me in terms of insights and discernment, and for you, whomever will get a hold of this, to chew on it and to, chew on it and see before you've fully digested does this fit? Does this make sense for my life? And hopefully you'll digest it knowing that it is nutritionally good for you and that your life is going to, and remember this, whatever I share with you, and I believe this not because of my own power and my own might, but because of what has been placed in me, that whatever I share is going to touch someone. It's going to motivate someone. It's going to encourage someone. It's going to cause someone to question their lives to some degree. That's what I'm doing this for. And I know that it works because I've done it in other YouTubes in the past, but I've also done it, I do it in my daily life. And people will come back to me and they'll tell me, listen, sometimes you irritate me because you convict me. And I tell them, I'm not convicting you. It's what's in me that's causing the conviction. So if it happens with people that I meet face to face on the job and Walmart or wherever I am, then it is my hope and my desire that it will happen to whomever listens to these broadcasts, and it will make an indelible impression on you so that you'll seek whatever it is that you seek, and maybe you'll get an answer. So this time out, what I want to share with is something that bugs me quite a bit and has bugged me, so I'm going to share it with you. It's this society that we live in. And it's not just here in America. It's all over the world that we use the word wedding and marriage almost as if it's interchangeable. And the reality is that it's not interchangeable. They're two separate words having separate meanings. And the word wedding denotes one event. Well, if you get married several times, it's not one event, but it denotes one event that lasts for a few hours in one day. And then it leads into marriage, which is supposed to be lasting a lifetime. So I hear, and someone will say, what is she talking about? Who does that? People do that all the time. It's a subconscious thing, and I don't think most of us really realize we're doing it. And so it happens. People say this word and they use them and they're like, well, the wedding and, this is a big thing and we have to put, people are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on weddings, and very little is spent on going into marriage, counseling, guidance, leadership, whatever it needs. Very little is spent entering into marriage, which is a covenant, and there's a ceremony at the wedding that solidifies publicly that covenant that you join together. And it becomes, if you're a believer in God, it becomes a covenant between three. Actually, it's not three, it's actually five, because we talk about God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, and the husband and the wife. So it's a covenantal relationship that you enter into. And that's what the ceremony is for, and that's where the wedding comes in. So what I would love for people to realize and to pay attention to is to be careful of the words we use, because they do have specific meanings. And if we're not careful, we'll use them in such a way that we get confused about which is which. And I am not joking. I'm very serious when I say people are confused about the wedding and the marriage, and they use it. People say, well, we're going to have a wedding, and it's a serious thing that we're doing. And I said, no. You're having a wedding ceremony leading into a marriage. That's the serious part, because to have a marriage, you don't have to have a big fancy wedding. You don't have to spend $30,000 that you could be saving to pay down on a house later on. You don't have to go in hock to have a wedding. You have to have a ceremony getting married so that you can have a marriage. That's what that is about. And so I would love for us, not just women, but men, every one of us as a society, to start paying attention to the way we use words. A wedding lasts for a few hours. If you look at the effort that people put into weddings, if we put that much effort into a marriage, my God, our marriages would be lasting 50 and 60 years. So I want us to listen to what I'm saying, because I know what I'm saying is real. And I know that what I'm saying is powerful. But you've got to stop long enough And we've got to start doing things differently. Listen, we spend so much money, and the merchandisers and the businesses make a lot of money off of weddings. I want us to start shutting them down, because, and let me tell you why. I'm happy that people have their businesses. I'm happy for them. They got to make money. That's wonderful. But this is not what the focus should be if you're getting married. If you're getting married and you truly want your marriage to work, and as again I say, not everybody listening to this might be believers, as I am, or might be believers to the extent that I am. But please listen to me. Please, I beg you to listen to what I'm saying. If you're contemplating marriage, if you just recently got into a marriage, whatever it might be, please take the focus off the wedding and put it on the marriage that you're entering into. Take time to receive counsel. Take time to find out if this is something that's good for both of you. Is this marriage going to make your lives better? Are you going into it thinking that you're going to be getting something but not realizing that you also have to give? If you think that this is a 50-50 proposition, please, I beg you. I have been divorced. And I didn't hear this kind of counsel before I got married. And I'm not blaming anybody. Before I got married, I didn't get this kind of counsel. But I'm not blaming anyone. The fact is, it happened, it's over with. But from here on in, I'm asking that we take time and cut down on the large weddings so we can have bigger marriages. Cut down on all this money that we invest in weddings. I said the word infest. It might figure in there some way. But the money that we invest in weddings. And there's nothing wrong with a big, beautiful wedding. There's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely beautiful. But the focus is what concerns me. And the understanding of the different terms that we use. We want awesomely big marriages, even if we have small weddings. Thank you. This has been Dr. Judith. We'll see you again next time.